So, on the cover of Time magazine we see the entire core cast of Stranger Things: Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, Sadie Sink, Gaten Matarazzo and Caleb McLaughlin, the OG crew, and yes, they've finally opened up about what's coming in Season 5. And, trust me, it's way darker than any of us imagined. One of the biggest bombshells they revealed is that 11 will be hunted by a brand new group known as the Wolf Pack, led by a mysterious scientist named Dr. K. And here's the thing, the government will also take a much more aggressive role this season. That means 11 will spend a big part of the story hiding, surviving, and constantly on the run. Now, here's where things get really interesting. We already know Season 5 will feature a time jump of about a year and a half, moving from spring 1986 to fall 1987. So, that raises one massive question: how has 11 managed to stay hidden for that long? Well, this is where the most talked about theory right now comes in. To survive, 11 may have developed an entirely new power. Until now, we've seen her track people from a distance by entering that dark, mental, void-like state. But this time, she might have evolved that ability, turning it into something even more powerful. Imagine this. 11 might now have a passive radar-like sense that allows her to detect the presence or even the intentions of anyone hunting her, like she can feel when danger is approaching. And if you think about it, that would perfectly explain how the government hasn't caught her yet, even after more than a year of searching, because let's be honest, staying hidden that long without a new ability, that just wouldn't make sense. But hold on. That's just the beginning. What comes next might completely change how we see one mysterious new character in Stranger Things 5. In that same Time magazine interview, the cast and creators dropped another detail that many fans totally missed. But it might confirm whether Linda Hamilton's character, Dr. K, is going to be good or bad. According to what they said, Dr. K leads the Wolfpack, the very group hunting 11, so naturally most fans believe she'll be some sort of antagonist, someone sent to capture or possibly destroy 11. And remember, the government still thinks 11 is behind everything that happened in Hawkins. So, it looks like they're coming after her harder than ever before. There's even a rumor that Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, yep, the same guy who tried to hunt 11 in Season 4, might return in Season 5, possibly promoted to General Sullivan. That would definitely raise the stakes even higher. But here's where things take an unexpected twist. What if Dr. K isn't actually out to capture 11, but to protect her? Maybe she knows something no one else does, something that could be the key to defeating Vecna once and for all. And that's not just a wild guess. If you look at Linda Hamilton's entire career, she's rarely, if ever, played a straight-up villain. She's always been the hero, the survivor, the fighter, never the cold-hearted antagonist. So, if she does turn out to be the villain in Stranger Things 5, it would be the first time in her career. And honestly, I find that a little hard to believe. But what do you think? Will Linda Hamilton's Dr. K become 11's greatest threat, or her most unexpected ally? Let me know your thoughts down below, because this could change everything we think we know about the final season of Stranger Things. Now, if you're still, while everyone's waiting for that trailer, if you've watched my other videos, you know there's been a flood of new interviews lately with the cast and the Duffer Brothers across tons of big entertainment websites. And these interviews, they've been full of important revelations. So, let's start with this beloved character right here, a fan favorite who, even though he had a short run, completely stole the show. Yep, you already know who I'm talking about, Eddie Munson. He appeared in Season 4, gave us one of the most iconic moments in the entire show, that legendary guitar solo, and then died fighting the Demobats. Ever since then, fans have come up with all kinds of theories. Zombie Eddie, Vampire Eddie, Flashback Eddie, you name it. And for a long time, people have believed he might still show up in Season 5. Well, now we finally have the official answer. According to Empire magazine, one of the biggest outlets covering the final season with exclusive details, the Duffer Brothers have officially addressed Eddie's return. And here's what Matt Duffer himself said about it. I love that Joe Quinn, or Joseph Quinn, as people call him, is messing with fans. But no, he's dead. Joe's busy anyway. Everyone should know he's not coming back. He's filmed like 5 movies since then, so when would he even have time to film Stranger Things? No, unfortunately. Rest in peace, he's completely buried. Yeah, that's it. Straight from the creator himself. Matt Duffer has put an end to the Eddie theories once and for all. But hold on, does that mean there won't be anything about Eddie in the final season? No mentions, no tributes? Actually, there will be. If you've been following the channel, you might remember last year's set leaks. Those leaks revealed a memorial built right in downtown Hawkins during the final scenes. It's basically a monument covered with the names of people who died throughout the fight against the Upside Down, and yes, one of those names is Edward Munson. So, in the final episode, we'll likely see a close-up of that memorial, showing Eddie's name as a tribute. Plus, there's a scene in the first episode where Dustin visits Eddie's grave, cleans it up, and even gets bullied for it. So, yeah, tributes are definitely happening, but as for Eddie actually coming back, nope, it's over, done, finished. But alright, let's move on to what will actually happen, because Empire magazine has revealed even more details straight from the producers themselves. And these aren't just small updates, we're talking about major info on returning characters, new faces, and even new versions of familiar ones. Starting with something wild, they're officially calling this upgraded version of Vecna 2.0. Yep, that's what the creators themselves are calling him. Here's what Matt Duffer said to Empire. The villain will be even more powerful in the final chapter. We're calling him Vecna 2.0 because he's changed. And these changes include powers that are effective in the real world of Hawkins, no longer tied to the Upside Down. He's stronger and scarier than ever, with new real-world abilities. In Season 4 he was deadly because he could infiltrate your mind and manipulate you that way. Now he can kick your butt in truly violent ways like Freddy on steroids. Yeah, that's a direct quote. And seriously, wow. Vecna 2.0 sounds absolutely terrifying. We actually got a little tease of this in the July teaser. Remember that final image where Vecna looked even creepier, covered in spikes? That's him. And earlier this year, Netflix accidentally leaked some promo art that showed new concept drawings of Vecna more monstrous, more twisted. Plus, there were those leaked behind-the-scenes photos from over a year ago, from the scene where Vecna attacks a military base. We can't show those here, obviously, but if you've seen them, you know his look is completely insane. Now, this whole thing about new powers is a huge deal, because it means Vecna's evolved beyond just the Upside Down. Before, his thing was manipulating minds, using those psychic, supernatural powers from the Upside Down. But now, he has control and influence in the real world. Basically, he's become a complete creature in terms of power, and that's probably because of the Upside Down's invasion of Hawkins. Since parts of the Upside Down have merged into the real world, that environment seems to boost Vecna's strength, giving him abilities he never had before. Think about it. He can now control things across Hawkins, move objects, use telekinesis, maybe even biokinesis, control people, and decide where and when the monsters will strike. Like that hospital attack scene, the one at Max's hospital, where Lucas has to protect her. That's the kind of chaos we're talking about. And who knows, maybe Vecna can now hear what's happening across town, like some kind of hive mind radar. Since the Upside Down operates as a hive mind, it's totally possible that if something happens in one corner of Hawkins, Vecna instantly knows about it from the other side. So, yeah, things are about to get a lot darker, a lot more complicated, and way deadlier, because now, there are countless new ways Vecna can attack. And when he enters that stage of the season, you know, when he becomes that full-on, unstoppable, no mercy killer, it's over. We're talking mass casualties. Maybe not the main characters, but tons of Hawkins citizens and extras are definitely doomed. Now, let's talk about the episodes now. The story stuff. Recently, the possible runtime of the episodes in the season leaked, the average runtime. Yes, my friend, this happened a few times earlier this year. At the beginning of the year, there was a crazy list that people still send me, asking if it's true, you know? A list claiming all the episodes are over 2 hours long. That one's fake. The Duffer brothers themselves confirmed it's not true. The news we've all been waiting for is finally here. The official runtimes for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. The first 4 episodes range from 54 minutes all the way up to a massive 1 hour and 23 minutes for the mid-volume finale. Now, runtimes have been the subject of endless rumors, reports, and debates over the past few weeks and months. You've probably seen some of the wild claims floating around online. Earlier this year, there was even a crazy list making the rounds saying every single episode would be over 2 hours long. Of course, that was quickly shut down. The Duffer brothers themselves denied it. More recently, reporting from Puck News suggested that the episodes would run between 90 minutes to 2 hours each. But, once again, that turned out to be false. So what's the truth? Well, today we finally got confirmation. In an Instagram post that we've shared via YouTube, you can actually see Ross Duffer checking out the show on Netflix. If you didn't know, Netflix can give out what's called screeners, work-in-progress versions of episodes for talent and crew. Normally, the public never sees these unless the press leaks them. But this time Ross himself gave us a sneak peek. The caption, just 2 words, actual runtimes. And here they are, officially confirmed. Chapter 1, The Crawl, 1 hour and 8 minutes. Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler, 54 minutes. Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap, 1 hour and 6 minutes. Chapter 4, Sorcerer, 1 hour and 23 minutes. That makes the total runtime for Volume 1 exactly 4 hours and 31 minutes. The Duffers have already said episodes 4 and 8 are the longest of the season, so we now know episodes 5, 6, and 7 will all come in shorter than 1 hour and 23 minutes. But not everyone is thrilled with the reveal. With so much misinformation setting expectations sky high, some fans were disappointed. In the comments, people wrote things like, "I was kinda hoping for those 2-hour-long episodes," and "That's so short." Ross actually jumped into the replies to shut down the earlier rumors, saying, "Nope, not me. If info doesn't come from me or Netflix, don't trust it." Actor Randy Havens even joined the fun, joking, "Not sure I trust this. A website that gave me a virus told me they were all 90 minutes to 3 hours long." Ross has also been teasing the episodes individually on Instagram. About Chapter 1, The Crawl, he said, "Our favorite, most eventful first episode since Season 1. For Chapter 2, The Vanishing of," he teased, "by far the craziest cold open we've ever done, one of the sequences we're most proud of this season." About Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap, Ross described it as, "the most classic Stranger Thingsy episode of the season. It's got all our favorite things." It's also directed by Frank Darabont, the legendary filmmaker behind Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and The Walking Dead, who literally came out of retirement just to direct this episode. And, finally, Chapter 4, Sorcerer. Ross called it massive, as big as any finale we've ever done, and the most logistically insane shoot of our lives. We're still recovering. Meanwhile, Netflix is ramping up the marketing machine for the grand finale season. We've seen new product launches, collaborations, and even weekly watch parties revisiting past seasons. The show even got a teaser spot at the Emmys, where it was rated TVMA. And at the end of September, new details surfaced about the final season, including the official content warnings: fear, gore, language, and smoking. Here's how the final rollout looks. Volume 1, November 26th, 4 episodes. Volume 2, Christmas Day, 3 episodes. The finale, New Year's Eve, the last episode ever. Each volume will drop at 5 p.m. PT worldwide, so there it is. No more rumors, no more guesses. The actual runtimes are finally official.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I breathe.